Hey, welcome everybody to our 2016 Mets replay. It's July 28th, 2016, and it's Colorado in Flushing, Queens, New York. We're not far from LaGuardia Airport. We are at Citi Field, and for Colorado, leading off is going to be Blackmon, LeMahieu, and Arenado. Pitching for Colorado is Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson went 5-6 with a 3.54 ERA in 19 starts. He's a lefty, and he will be facing Jacob DeGrom, the righty. And DeGrom was 7-8 with a 3.04 ERA in 24 starts. Leading off for Colorado is going to be Blackmon. Now we're using the retro play mat. So that's kind of cool, something different. Always kind of add a different visual. It's a line here. I don't know what that line is all about. Just noticed that. The artwork is interesting here. The pitcher, he has a T on his hat. I guess that stands for Texas. All right, so we're gonna get started. Start rolling some dice. Saturday morning. It's going to be off DeGrom's card, a 5-7. And that's a ball hit up the middle and through for a base hit. Blackmon is on with a single. Charlie Blackmon batted .324 with 29 home runs. Just signed a 6-year contract. It's going to take him into, I believe, 38. I think he's 32 or 31, something like that. LeMahieu, it's a 4-5. And that's a strikeout. LeMahieu down on strikes. 1 out. Next is Nolan Arenado, probably the best third baseman in the league, in both leagues. .294 average with 41 home runs in 2016. Plus a gold glove at third base. 4-7. It's a ground ball to the second baseman. Our second baseman for the Mets is Walker. He's a 3. That's a 15. And that's going to be a force out. So Arenado on with a fielder's choice for out number 2. Next is going to be Carlos Gonzalez, who had a down year in 2017. But in 2016, he batted .298 with 25 home runs and 42 doubles. 3-6. And that's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's a third out. So no score here. Going to the bottom of the first. It's going to be Lagares, Granderson, and Flores, followed by Walker for the Mets today. Cespedes is not in the lineup. Here's the pitch to Lagares. It's a 3-6. That's a hard-hit ground ball right at the shortstop, Trevor Story. Over to first, and there's 1 out. Say 4-11. And that's going to be a walk. Ball 4. So Granderson is on at first, and here's the pitch to Flores. It's swung on and grounded to the shortstop, Story, who flips over to LeMahieu and back to Descalso. It's a 6-4-3 double play. Go to the top of the second. No score. Trevor Story leading it off. And that's a ground ball shortstop X. Our shortstop is a 2, and that's a 2. And that ball is through to the outfield for a single. So Story on with a single. David Dahl now. David Dahl batted .315 in 222 at bats. He had 7 homers. 5-7 off the Grom, and that's a line drive base hit single. Story's going to stop at second. So the first 2 batters of the top of the second are on base now for the Rockies. Next is going to be Daniel Descalzo, who batted .264 with 8 home runs and 250 at bats. 4-5, and that's a swing and a miss, and Descalzo goes down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for DeGrom, and the first strikeout, the first out of the inning. Tony Walters, the catcher, 3-4, and that's ball 4. So the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded now. Story's on at third, Dahl at second, and Walters at first. It's going to be the pitcher, Tyler Anderson. And that's a 5-12. It's a ground ball right at the first baseman. That's going to score a run. It's going to be a 3 unassisted RBI for Anderson. Scoring is Trevor Story for the first run of the game. The Rockies lead at 1-0. To third goes Dahl. To second goes Walters. And it's Blackman now. Charles Blackman. Center fielder. Started off as a pitcher originally. And had arm problems. Always complaining about his arm. So they moved him to center field. And the rest is history. Can hit the heck out of the ball. Here's the pitch to Blackman. And that's going to be a split die hit with second and third. And that's going to be in the gap. And Blackman's going to be on with a double. 2-run double for Blackman. Dahl scores. Behind him is Walters. And it's 3-0 Rockies. Next up is DJ LeMahieu, batted .348. Won the batting title. Hit 32 doubles, 8 triples, 11 home runs. It's a 4-9. And that's a split die. Line drive. Caught by the second baseman, Walker. 4 for the second out. And then it's Nolan Arenado. That's a 4-5. That's going to 4-5 is going to be a strikeout. 4th strikeout. But the Rockies pick up 3 big runs here in the top of the second, lead at 3-0, go to the bottom of the second now. It's going to be Walker, Cabrera, and Loney in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch from... Get a little bit more space to be able to roll. Neil Walker, it's a walk, so Walker lives up to his name. And he's on at first. And Cabrera, say 4-7. It's going to be a split die. And that's lined into the gap. And that's going to roll to the wall. Stopping at third is going to be Walker. In at second with a double is Cabrera. So the first 2 Mets are on here in the bottom of the second against Tyler Anderson. Here's the pitch to Loney. Say 3-4. Say fly ball right field. That's going to be deep enough to score Walker. In comes Walker. 3-1 now. Loney gets an RBI. Cabrera still at second. 1 out. And it's Alejandro De Aza. Say 1-2, and that's a foul out. Back goes the catcher, Walters, for out number 2. And it's Rivera. Rene Rivera. Rivera, the catcher for the Mets, batted .222 with 6 home runs in 185 at-bats. Here's the pitch to Rivera. 6-6. It's a ground ball to shortstop. Story is a 3, and that's a 13. And he boots it. So everybody's safe. Cabrera's to third, first and third now. 2 outs. And the pitcher, Jacob DeGrom, with his own batting card, steps in the box. Here's the pitch from Anderson. It's a 6-9, and that's a swing and a miss. DeGrom goes down on strikes. So the Mets pick up 1 run, make it 3-1 now. We go to the top of the third. In the top of the third, it's going to be Carlos Gonzalez against Jacob DeGrom. And it's 5-8, and that's a swing and a miss. Gonzalez goes down on strikes. That's strikeout number 5. Trevor Story next. Here's the pitch to Story. It's a fly ball right field. That's Granderson in right. That's an 18. We may have to roll again for that, and we do. It's a 5, and Granderson runs it down. So it's F9 for out number 2. And David Dahl next. Say 3-4. And that's lifted to deep center field. Back goes the center fielder Lagares to the track, to the wall, looks up. That's out of here. Home run. David Dahl. Making the score 4-1 Mets. And DeGrom wants that pitch back. Daniel Descalso now. There's 2 outs here in the top of the third. 4-1 Rockies. 6-8. It's going to be a split die. Line drive, base hit for Descalso. Next is Tony Walters. Walters walked and scored a run. It's a 5-8. 5-8 is a swing and a miss. Walters goes down on strikes. What's up, man? Al, how are you? Good morning. And that's strikeout number 6 for DeGrom. 4-1. Mets are down to Colorado, going to the bottom of the third. The Rockies in the top of the third pick up another run and a David Dahl home run. So in the bottom of the third, it's going to be the top of the order for the Mets. Pitching on the mound for Colorado is Tyler Anderson, lefty. 5-6 with a 3.54 ERA in 2016. Here's the pitch to Lagares. It's a 2-11. It's a pop-up to the left side. Trevor Story. 1 away. Curtis Granderson. Granderson walked in his first at bat. It's a 4-2. That's a ground ball right back to Anderson. He feels his position. Gets Granderson by a step. 2 out. Flores. It's a ground ball right at Arenado. Guns it to first. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the fourth. 4-1 Colorado. It's going to be Tyler Anderson leading off the top of the fourth for the Rockies. We are at Citi Field here in Flushing, Queens, New York. Take the 7 train to College Point. You still got time. Still early enough. There's still plenty of action. You would have to go through a time machine to do it, though. 4-8. It's going to be off of the Grom. It's a fly ball lifted to left. De Aza squeezes it. One away. It's the top of the order now for the Rockies. The pitch a 3-7, and that's a swing and a miss. Blackman down on strikes. He was 2 for 2, by the way. Second out of the inning, strikeout number 7 for DeGrom. And it's LeMahieu now. LeMahieu was the winner of the batting title in 2016, batted .348. That's 3-3, and that's ball 4. So LeMahieu with 2 outs manages a walk, and it's Nolan Arenado who batted .294 with 41 home runs. Elite third baseman, who many say is the top third baseman in baseball. He's also considered a Gold Glove third baseman, in addition to his hitting. .111, and that's popped up to the left side. Cabrera calling it out number 3. But here in the top of the 4th, the Rockies lead 1, score none. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 4-1 Rockies. It's going to be Walker, Cabrera, and Loney against Tyler Anderson. Say 3-7. It's a ground ball right at Trevor Story. Fields it over to first. 1 away. Cabrera next. Cabrera doubled in his last at bat. It's a 6-3. It's a ground ball first base. First baseman is Descalso. He's a 5, and that's a 2, and that's through to the outfield for a base hit. So Cabrera is 2 for 2 now. And it's James Loney. It's 3-4. That's a fly ball lifted to right. Right fielder Gonzalez is there. Nice catch. 2 away. De Aza fouled out. It's a fly ball lifted to center. Blackman measures it. Out number 3. We go to the top of the 5th. 4-1 Rockies. It's going to be Carlos Gonzalez leading off against Jacob deGrom. 4-6, and that's ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Gonzalez, and it's Trevor Story up next. So 1-5. That's going to be a split die. Line drive base hit for Trevor Story. Over to third goes Gonzalez. First and third now, runners on the corners. Mets bullpen is up. David Dahl infields in, and it's 6-6. It's a strikeout. Strikeout number 8, out number 1. Here in the top of the 5th. Runners on the corners. The infield is in. Mets are behind 4-1, and it's Daniel Descalso against Jacob deGrom. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-7, and that's a fly ball right field. That's going to be deep enough to get a run in. Here's a throw, not in time, so it's an RBI for Descalso, scoring Gonzalez. 2 out. And it's Tony Walters, the catcher. So 4-6. 4-6 is ball 4. So that's third walk. given up. Yes. Yes, I got this. Online I went and I bought a set from the 80s. It was an 87 set. But I didn't get all the teams. But they were basically still on the sheets. And but it can't. Everything is new. The split cards are all in one piece. So I feel bad about breaking them apart. I wanted to use the split cards, and but I didn't want to break them apart. So I'm gonna kind of look around, see if somebody has them. I mean, they're easy to create, but I'd rather use the ones that the game created. Yeah, it came with an 87 set. The set was complete and pretty much untouched, but it only had 1/3 of the teams, so that was a disappointment. It had only 9 teams out of the 26. So then I don't know what to do, so I'm thinking of selling the teams. It does have the World Series teams, so I could replay the World Series with it. It has the Mets and the Yankees, so I could do like a little Subway Series. So there's still fun stuff I could do. I got it, at a good price. It was only 25 bucks, so I had the whole game and the pitcher batting cards, for example, brand new. But it only has 9 teams. So anyway, I was thinking also doing maybe a little mini league, just to get, squeeze some use out of it. All right, Tyler Anderson is up. It's 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And Trevor Story is at second base. Walters is at first. 6, 7. DeGrom's given up 7 hits so far. Here's the pitch to Tyler Anderson. And that's a 1-8, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 9 for DeGrom. Yeah. So that's 1 run. The Rockies pick up 1 run. It's 5-1 now, going to the bottom of the 5th. See if the Mets can get something going and make this a game. Because right now it's pretty much been one-sided. So leading off is going to be Rene Rivera. 6-11. It's a fly ball, left field X. Left fielder is Dahl. He's a 2. That's an 8. And Dahl gets to that one. Out number 1. And it's the pitcher spot, DeGrom now. We're down 5-1. We're going to bring in a pinch hitter. It's going to be Johnson, Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson for DeGrom. Say 5-4. Say fly ball center field X. Blackman should be a 2. He's a 3. That's an 11. And that drops in there. And into second base is the pinch hitter Johnson. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Johnson doubles. And we go to Juan Lagares. Pinch hit double for Kelly Johnson, batting for DeGrom in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mets are down 5-1. Looks like Hansel Robles is warming up in the Mets bullpen, so we can expect him in there. All right, here's the pitch to Juan Lagares. 1 out, runner on second base. Mets down 5-1. So 1-7. That's a line drive base hit, and stopping at third is Kelly Johnson. First and third now for Curtis Granderson. Mets have a little something going. Set a ground ball to the second baseman. That's going to get a run in. LeMahieu is a 1. And that's going to be a roll again. Love that. 13. It's going to be an out. A 4-6-3 double play. So no run scores on that one. So the Mets lose a great opportunity there. They had first and third with only one out. Failed to score in the bottom of the fifth. We go to the top of the sixth now. It's going to be the top of the order. That's going to be Hansel Robles for the Mets. Now Robles was 6-4 with a 3.48 ERA. It's a 5-7, and that's ball 4. So Blackman walks. LeMahieu's up next. So 1-12. That's a hard hit ground ball right at Walker. Walker flips to Cabrera. Cabrera over to first. 4-6-3, 2 outs. Nice double play turned by the Mets here in the top of the sixth inning. 5-1, Colorado. And it's 4-7. It's a ground ball right at Walker. 19 is probably a roll again, and it is. Christ. 9. And that's a ball that Walker feels easily. And the Mets are out of the inning. Go to the bottom of the sixth, 5-1, Colorado. It's going to be Flores leading off for the Mets. Against the lefty Tyler Anderson. It's a 5-3. 5-3 is a ground ball shortstop X, and that's Story. And that's going to be a through for a base hit. So Flores singles off Anderson. He's on at first. Next is Neil Walker. Say 6-6. It's a ground ball right at the shortstop. Shortstop Story is a 3. It's a 16. That's going to be a fielder's choice. Not in time at first. So Walker is on. And coming up is Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera is 2 for 2 on the day, a double and a single. Say 3-7. That's a line drive base hit for Cabrera. Stopping at second is going to be Walker. Down 5 runs. So Cabrera is 3 for 3 on the day. James Loney, 2-10. That ball is lined and caught by the first baseman, Descalzo. Out number 2. And it's Alejandro De Aza. It's a 6-8. Fly ball lifted to left. Left fielder Dahl is there for out number 3. So again, the Mets leave 2 on. And we go to the top of the 7th, 5-1, Colorado. Top of the 7th is going to be Gonzalez, Story, and Dahl for the Rockies against Hansel Robles. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. It's a 5-8. It's a strikeout. Oh, no, it's the wrong card. 5-8 is in the gap, and that's going to fall in there for a double for Gonzalez, so it's a leadoff double. Big difference. Trevor Story, 312. That ball is lined and caught by the third baseman, Flores. L5, out number 1. David Dahl is next. I'm going to walk Dahl to get to Descalzo. Dahl's a 315 hitter. We're going to get to a 264 hitter. Here's a pitch from Robles. So 1-6. A 1-6 is a strikeout. Descalzo down on strikes for the second out. And Walters is next. The catcher batted .259 with 3 home runs and 205 at bats. It's a 4-7 off Robles' card. That's going to be a ground ball, second base X. It's an 18. Roll again. It's a 6. And that's out number 3. Walker throws him out. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, 5-1 Colorado. It's going to be Rivera, the pitcher spot, and Lagares. It's a 6-7. It's a fly ball lifted to center. Blackman went away. It's going to be Michael Conforto now. Pinch hitting for Robles. Bottom of the 7th. Here's a pitch to Conforto. Conforto bats from the left side. It's a 3-8. That's a hard hit ground ball right at Story. Story feels it. Guns it to first for out number 2. And Juan Lagares steps in the box. Here's a pitch to Lagares. 4-7. And that's going to be a split die. That's hit in the gap, and that's going to drop in there and roll to the wall. Hustling around first and sliding into second. Ahead of the throw is Lagares with a 2-out double. That's his second hit of the game. He's 2 for 2 on the day. So Lagares making most of his opportunities. Doesn't play very often. It's going to be a 4-4. It's a fly ball right field. That's Gonzalez out there. And he runs it down. So the Mets lead 1 in the bottom of the 7th, and the score is 5-1. Colorado. We go to the top of the 8th. In the top of the 8th, it's going to be the pitcher leading off, Anderson. .611. So we got a new pitcher for the Mets. On the mound is going to be Steven Matz, the lefty. Matz, that's his batting card. Wait a second. Let's look for his pitching card. Steven Matz actually came in relief in this game. That's why I'm using him. Normally a starter. He was 9-8 with a 3.40 ERA in 22 starts. But he did have some relief appearances and in actuality relieves in this game. So I'm bringing him in as a reliever. He's going to face Anderson, Blackman, and LeMahieu. Okay, so it's 6-11 we rolled. 6-11 is going to be a ground ball right back to Matz. Matz is a 3, and that's a 1. And that's under his glove out to center field for a base hit. So that's a single for Tyler Anderson, the pitcher, which is not a good sign. Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon just signed a 6-year contract with the Rockies. Takes him through age 38, I believe. Don't know how well he'll be hitting 36, 35, 36, 37, and 38, but we'll see what happens. Here's the pitch to Blackmon. It's a 4-4. It's a ground ball. Third base X. Our third baseman is Flores, who's a 4. It's an 18, and Flores is going to go to second for the force. So Blackmon on a fielder's choice. 1 away. LeMahieu won the batting title in 2016 with a 348 average. It was Altuve who won it last year in 2017. 6'10". That's a catcher's card X. Our catcher is a 2. That's a 3. Safe as first on a drop pop-up, so that's an E2. Everybody's safe. So Rivera with an error, a blunder. Runners on first and second, 1 out for Nolan Arenado, who clubbed 41 home runs in 2016. So this is a team with some impressive offensive numbers, pretty much. Here's the pitch to Arenado. It's a 4-9 off of Matz's card. A 9 is a swing and a miss, and Arenado goes down on strikes for out number 2. Next is going to be Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo, big star, particularly in 2016, but had an off season, an off year in 2017 when he batted, I think, 240, 250 with only 14 home runs. His power numbers were halved. He hit 25 home runs in 2016. And that's a 5-5. And that's a swing and a miss, and Gonzalez goes down on strikes. So Matz gets the last 2 Rockies on strikes, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-1 Rockies. It's going to be Flores, Walker, and Cabrera. Wilmer Flores is 1 for 3 against Tyler Anderson. It's a 3-7, and that's a fly ball lifted to left. Dahl is there, 1 away. Walker's next. Neil Walker, second baseman, who now plays with the Yankees, was playing first base last night. Mets traded him in 2017. 5-6. That's a strikeout. So Walker goes down on strikes. And that's strikeout number 1, 2 for Anderson. Cabrera's next. Cabrera's 3 for 3. Let's see if Cabrera can make it 4 for 4. It's a 5-7. It's a ground ball second base. Still has hope. Second baseman's a 1. No, it's not going to happen. It's an 11, and that's an out. So the Mets are 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 8th. And it's Colorado 5, Mets 1 going to the top of the 9th. It'll be Story, Dahl, and Descalso in the top of the 9th against Steven Matz. Here's the pitch to Story, a 3-9, and that's a strikeout. Matz notches his 3rd strikeout. We're on the top of the 9th inning, 5-1 Mets. It's been all Colorado in this game, particularly Tyler Anderson. David Dahl batted .315. 4-7 off of Matz's card. A 7 is a line drive base hit center field for David Dahl. That's his third hit of the game, by the way. He's 3 for 4 now. He's got 2 singles and a home run. Solo shot back in the what looks to be the third inning. So there's 1 out. Dahl is on at first, and Descalso is 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly and an RBI here against Steven Matz. It's a 6-9, and that's ball 4. So Matz walks Descalso. Excuse me. That's going to be all for Matz. We're going to see Reed. Addison Reed against Tony Walters. So runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. It's Addison Reed. Addison Reed was 4-2 with a 1.97 ERA in 78 innings pitched. It's going to be a 3-4, and that's ball 4. So Tony Walters walks. The bases are now loaded. At third base is Dahl. At second is Descalso. At first is Walters, and it's going to be Tyler Anderson. Rayburn. See if we can find a pinch hitter with the bases loaded here and only 1 out. The Mets infield is going to be in. Ryan Rayburn is going to come in to pinch hit. Now we're going to get Jake McGee, to finish off the game. Very unlikely that Tyler Anderson had any complete games in 2016. Highly unlikely that anybody will ever have a complete game ever again, based on what I've been seeing lately. It's Ryan Rayburn for Anderson. Top 9. Bases loaded. Mets infield in, trying to keep the Rockies from scoring any more runs. 2-11. And that's going to be a hard hit ground ball right at Cabrera. And that's going to be an A. Is a runner on third is going to hold. So let's see what they do with that. And bases loaded situation, except for 3, and the runner on third is out. The batter is safe. Other runners are ground ball resulting in a hit or an error. Ground ball followed by a double cross. So it's going to be a 6-2 fielder's choice for the Mets. Fielder's choice, so out number 2. So it's Descalso at third, Walters at second, and the pinch hitter Rayburn at first for Charlie Blackmon against Addison Reed. Now Charlie Blackmon had outstanding numbers in 2016, so he's going to be a tough out in this situation. He batted .324 with 29 home runs. He topped that last year, had an amazing year last year. I think he batted in the 330s with 30 some odd, almost 40 home runs in 2017. So it's a 1-8, which is not a good sign. That's a line drive, base hit center field. And around to score is Dahl. Right after him is Descalso. Stopping at third is Rayburn. And it's a 2-run RBI single. A 2-run single by Blackmon. And the score is 7-1 Colorado now. And next is going to be LeMahieu. Here's a pitch from Reed. It's a 2-9. And that's a swing and a miss. LeMahieu goes down on strikes for the third out. So in the top of the ninth, the Rockies score 2 more on 2 hits and 2 walks. And they lead it by a score of 7-1. Okay. It's going to be Loney, De Aza, and Rivera against Jake McGee. Jake McGee was 2-3 with a 4.73 ERA. Here's the pitch to Loney. It's 2-11. It's lined and caught by LeMahieu. 1 away. Next is Alejandro De Aza, 6'2". It's a fly ball right field X. That's Carlos Gonzalez out there. Gonzalez is a 2. We rolled a 7. And Gonzalez runs that one down for out number 2. And next is going to be Rene Rivera. Rivera is 0 for 3. Here's a pitch to Rivera, 110. That's a fly ball center field. Over is Blackman. Squeezes it for out number 3. Game over. Mets lose it by a score of 7-1. The loss goes to Jacob Grom. The win goes to Tyler Anderson. And that makes the Mets record. The Mets fall to 56-45 after 101 games. 56-45. And that's all she wrote for this game. We're going to probably play, let's see, I don't know if we can squeeze in another. It's 10 minutes to 11. We got the Met game starting at 12. We want to watch that. And then we got to go to work for an hour at 3. So we may squeeze one more in. I don't know, because it takes some time to write down all the info and get all the actual lineups and all that. So may not have enough to run it, but I may start running it, and then I don't know. I'll see what I do. I'll check it out. Thanks, guys, for stopping by, man. And I'll see you. Yeah, no problem, man. Take care, Al. And I'll see you guys very soon. All right. Keep me up on abreast of the latest baseball news. Waiting for Bartolo Colon to make another start. I'm a big fan of the Big Sexy. And hopefully Asdrubal Cabrera does well today for the Mets. I enjoy watching him play. He's always looks like he's having a great time. I really like that. Always joking around and happy and smiling, and he gets his hits. So anyway, all right, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye now.